Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Let's talk about Ace Metaphor. Ace Metaphor is the convener and the creator of the tonight's conversation. This is one of your relationship coaches out there. They stage a tour, a relationship tour, and then basically you have a bunch of single people on a stage and they sell out tickets all the time. And you have a bunch of single people educating themselves on how relationships work. And if I don't know if they've had any married person, let me think. I think they might have one or two, but usually these are all single people leading themselves astray, if you will. I'm sorry, that's just the reality. This is not just about single or relationships or marriage. It's about anything in life. Would you want somebody who is broke to teach you how to make money? No, right? Would you want somebody who is obese and smoking at the same time teaching you about health? Probably not. There are some like that, they do exist. But usually they won't be in your face doing it, right? So while we're talking about Ace Metaphor today, there's a video I want to play for you, okay? This video right here. Let's go ahead and listen in real quick. Just listen.
Right, I'm separating you from this conversation.
Okay.
A lot of men, a lot of heterosexual men don't like women for real. They don't. They like women sexually, but they don't like women. They're not attracted to what a woman is outside of her sexual organs. So then when we get into why a lot of men
don't like men outside of their sex and sexual organ. Okay, all right, let's keep going.
womanize, or why it's just they're minimizing a woman based off of who she slept with or who she potentially can sleep for, because it's like you haven't gained the appreciation of the wholeness of a woman yet and what that wholeness of a woman can bring to your life. A lot of times we'll talk about strength and we'll say men are stronger than women, but that's because we value physical strength. We're not talking about emotional strength, spiritual strength. We're not talking about the type of strength that can run a household. And we're not putting that same type of weight. And what I would encourage, and this was the shift that I had to do, is I had to start liking the wholeness of a woman outside of sex. And then when you do that, now you appreciate the things a complete woman can bring to your life. When we talk about the Bible talks about finding a capable wife, right? That capable wife, that person that if you was to stumble,
The Bible
can pick up the ball and start running. And there's a lot of men that have just a wife because they was only concerned about what she can do in the bed.
Yeah.
And so what I'm just encouraging men to do
A
is
man
just
has
like,
a whole wife
and it's for
just
our
because
own
of bed.
benefit, because a lot of us,
Yeah, right.
especially
That's a
men with
dysfunction.
some type of means,
Some do
we
exist,
end up finding a
but
dependent, not a partner.
generalizing that is wild.
Yeah, she can fuck us good. But if you was able to stumble, bro, what the fuck is gonna happen with your family? And so I just encourage
This
men
is the point
to
where you guys start
be,
doing like this.
I'm not gonna say more because that's unrealistic to a lot of men, but as
Really?
attracted to what she brings as a feminine energy to your life outside of just what you're doing in between.
Okay, what she brings as a feminine energy. Also, now this guy is the king of what they call the word salad. Okay, this is the king of what they call the word salad. I'm gonna play another clip from that same podcast. That podcast was on Cam Newton, ex-football player, I think. Hold on 1 second here. So yeah, hold on 1 second. Okay, here you go. Here's another one.
Not poly, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
All right,
These are the
listen to
lessons
this
I'm
one.
learning in order to not be wrong.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Are you poly?
Are you the question is asking is, are you poly? All right, so the answer to this is going to be interesting. Let's just listen in.
Well,
Okay?
I'm not poly in the sense that I want.
Wait, that should be a yes or no. What do you mean you're not poly in the sense of what? Let's go back.
Are you poly?
No. Well, I'm not poly in the sense that I want two active, full-ass relationships.
Huh?
What do you mean?
Exactly.
I don't want multiple girlfriends.
What do you want?
Good question.
I want one girlfriend, one wife, with whom we can explore sexual relationships with other people.
And I can.
Let's keep listening.
Hear the comments now. Can she explore other relationships
Can
with other
she
men?
explore?
Other men,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I ain't got that far yet.
Wait, what? All right. I think he's going to explain more.
Explain, because no evidence.
So
But the older I get, the less opposed to it I am.
The less
It depends.
opposed, the older you
On.
get.
The arrangement.
All right, so some months ago, maybe over a year ago, Tony Gaskin, the other guy, the other relationship coach, he completely tackled this guy. But Tony Gaskin was also overdoing it from mostly religious and quote unquote spiritual standpoint. But and at that time, I didn't really know this guy very well. But right now, he has some other things going on. I'm not sure what else is going on with him, but he got ousted by one of his castmates on the show Tonight's Conversation. They exposed each other, and that's the funny thing with single people. A lot of time they have nothing to lose, and so they can para, they can just machine, they can just scatter everything just because they're pissed off. Especially single ladies. Again, I'm generalizing, but just walk with me. Don't overthink what I just said. Just listen to this.
So you're dating this girl, and she says, "Hey, I want to venture off. I seen a dude that I gave him. I'm being full transparent. I gave him my number. I know what it is.
Full transparency,
In my
full
mind,
open
let's back up.
honesty.
In my mind, I'm thinking about a sex party. I'm not thinking about that deep. Like now I'm thinking about in terms of being in a relationship where you comfortable, you got trust or whatever. We
Yeah.
go to a sex party, you go your way, I go my way. Then I'm not tripping, but I don't know if I'm getting to that.
You go
point.
your
But
way,
you're
I go
good,
my way.
Where you could go to a sex party and you go one way.
See, I be too worried about
Why
who
be
I'm
in a
fucking to
relationship?
worry about who she fucking.
So he'd be much more worried about the person he's having sex with than whatever she's doing. Is that normal human behavior? Let's think this through, right? I know there are exceptions to every rule, but that will be the exceptions. A poly person will be the exceptions. Okay, but for most normal people, like most people in the Prestige family, is that normal behavior? Why are we preaching this to people again? Why are you, if this is your private life, why do we need to know this?
That don't make sense to
No,
me.
yes, it do make sense.
Makes
Make it
zero
make
sense.
I'm over here fucking. I want to enjoy my fuckitude. So I'm more worried about that than I am about what you're doing over there, if that was part of our agreement.
You spoke about it before, and the thing about most men, and I'm speaking to me at one point in my life, it wasn't that I cared what another woman did, but if I'm giving you a version of me that a lot of people aren't getting, women, I don't want another man to have what I want. You know what I'm saying? And there's a control.
Now that's normal human behavior. No matter how dysfunctional you might call Cam Newton, that's normal behavior. It's pretty normal for you to be selfish to a certain level, or to be fully people pleaser to too much level, and then we have to help you regulate. All those are normal behavior. Everything else that Ace Metaphor said is not normal. This is his most popular video on TikTok. It has 5.7 million. So this is you all's relationship coach on TikTok. Listen to this.
And saying that I want a woman to be my peace. No, the you don't. You want a woman that won't question you when you bring in chaos in her life, talking about be my peace. How you want her to be your peace when all you doing is bringing nightmares in her life? And every time she speaks up, you say she's disturbing your peace. Of course she is. Cause you cheating. You ain't available. You don't validate
Open,
her. When you
honesty,
say you want a woman to be your peace,
transparency.
you mean you want a woman that don't speak up for herself, that don't call you out on your bullshit. If you not doing bullshit, shit is peaceful. You don't even have to say be my peace when you are bringing peace. What peaceful ass nigga has ever had to say be my peace? The chaos.
What did Shanae say in the comments? She said, hey man. Now, nothing he said is necessarily wrong here. I do think it's weirdo behavior when men ask for, not weirdo, but men that ask for peace are usually men that don't know how to attract a peaceful woman. But So nothing he said is necessarily wrong. But let me just say this, because even a broken clock is right twice a day, right? So it's not about that. It's about application in real life. It's about, are these people the examples that you're looking for? That's what it's about. And I'm going to make this last one statement about this, and I'll leave it to you guys to discuss in the comments. Sexuality, spirituality, emotional and mental realms, our physical realm, the one that you and I can touch, feel, and it's the obvious one for us, and life, they're not mutually exclusive. Stop making them separate. Especially you always try to separate sexuality and spirituality. They're all in one. They all come in one experience. Once you understand that, you will stop stressing yourself over this thing called relationship. It's not that deep, okay? The real, it's not that deep. Just make it so complicated for yourself, and that's why you end up with prophets like this, and they'll be teaching you, but they can't set the right examples for you. So what does that create? It creates confusion. What does that create? That's my pop quiz for you. Tell me in the comment, what does that create? All right, I have some other stuff coming up, so make sure you're hitting the like button, share, subscribe, turn up your notifications so you're notified when we go live. I'll be right back.
Girl, it's your love that I've been missing. I miss all your hugs, your touching and kissing me.